Can y'all hear me? Hey, Thelma. Okay, so I wanted to get on today because I have missed a day and there's so much going on. I thought I'd just do a live video as opposed to, doing a bunch of short videos. So I'm gonna talk to y'all. Hopefully y'all talk back. Good evening, Tawana. I'm waiting for my chat to come up on my computer. Okay, I got it. Okay, you guys. Hey, everybody. Hi, Linda. Hi, Crystal. So I'm reading comments from my phone and from my computer, so I apologize. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I can barely see. So please forgive me if I don't see all of your comments. I'm reading them as they go up. But I wanted to talk to you guys about, hold on one second. Let me make sure I don't get a bunch of interruptions on here. I wanted to talk to you guys about Martell and Sheree, of course. And then last episode, and someone had asked me to talk about what Carlos King said regarding people saying that Love and Marriage Huntsville is ratchet. Hi, everybody. I wanted to talk to you guys about that and get your opinion. Good evening, Kathy. Finally caught alive. Okay, girl. I'm glad you caught it, Kiki. So, thank you, Stacy. So what do y'all want to talk about first? Martell and Sheree? Let's talk about them first because they're all over it. Hi, Jazzy. Hi, Linda. Hi, Queen. Make sure you guys hit the like button, please. I be getting robbed on my likes sometimes. Okay, so let's talk about Martell and Sheree. So you guys have probably seen it by now. Supposedly, Martell had gotten to a fight with Kenya because Kenya called him out and said, hey, you were in my DMs trying to hook up with me, and now you are with my co-star. And apparently that got him so riled up, they're saying it had gotten him so riled up that the producers and people on set was kind of like nervous for, the cast. So is Martell really out here showing his butt like that? I can tell you he has not done anything on social media since. He came back. His baby mama said, yep, Candy Burris was right. His baby mama said that he was stressed out and looking to talk to her. And he has gone completely dark on social media for the last couple of days. Even though all of those pictures, those really nice pictures, he should know better than to try Kenya. He should know better than to try anybody at this point, Queen. I agree. We all know him better than he knows himself, clearly. And people are going to throw that stuff back in his face. And it's interesting that he didn't have a good comeback. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you knew you were in that girl's DMs trying to talk to her, then why wouldn't you have had something prepared instead of getting into an argument with her? Doesn't seem, he's not a smart guy. His ego was definitely hurt. His ego was definitely hurt. Let's see. But I thought it was interesting that he went there with her, can't even get his builder's license, went there with her, jumped in her face, first day of filming on RHOA. So Carlos has come out and said that he can definitely do both and that he will be a part of the next season for Love and Marriage Huntsville. He was like, Martell isn't going anywhere. So that's interesting. Kathy, thank you, Miss Kathy. Reminds me of Love and Marriage Huntsville Vegas trip where when he went after Melody. I agree. So I'm wondering if he did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know everyone hit the like button, please. I know that he gets away with a lot on Love and Marriage Huntsville, but I don't know if that's gonna play well on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yvette said, well, he had time to turn the show around, but now the whole cast is against Mel. He really did have a chance to turn the show around. I agree. And so whatever happened, did you guys see that Melody had her brother and his husband on that little trip? She had him with them. I guess they were babysitting. That was the last trip. She had all the kids. They all had their suitcases. So I think that was a little in your face. You know what I'm saying? They don't like women. Carlos was crying on Bell Collective. He was very emotional about women not being able to get certain rights and things like that. So I thought that was interesting too. But back to Martell and RHOA. So they've been doing all this promotion. All of these beautiful photos have been coming out of him and Sheree together. She has that, nice summer dress on. He said that Mel ain't going nowhere. He did say that too. He said Mel wasn't going anywhere. He said that Martell isn't going anywhere. But I just wanted to say, if Martell is serious about this, whatever it's supposed to be, even if it's just a PR relationship, I think that it's interesting that while all of this publicity has come out, all of these pictures have come out, Sheree is still on top of her game. She's, singing his praises. He's not doing anything. He's not advertising his wine. He's not doing anything on his page. He's just been silent ever since his baby mama came out and said he tried her again. 135 in the chat. Yes, ma'am. Martell is going to destroy himself. He's on a bad road. How old is he? He's 40. He's 40 years old. He turns 41 in January. And Sheree is 52. No wine. I heard Marlene is back working at the hospital. That's unfortunate. It keeps Coleslaw quiet. Midlife crisis, probably no wine. Now he had said that he had wine, the wine was selling in 40 states, and then 10 states he said he still needed to, get a license for so that he can have the wine sent out. But I don't know why he's not doing more to have the wine placed in, stores or bars or wherever else you can get it. It doesn't make sense. Hi, Betty Boop. And then I also wanted to point out, let me read Lisa's comment. She said, karma is real. They all need to take a page out of Melody's book. Girl, Melody is rocking it, okay? At this point, they are all looking at her dust, and that's exactly what should be happening. I hear husband, boyfriends don't get paid on RHOA, and they do not. If you guys remember, if you watched the show, that was one of the things that Peter was advocating for the entire time. He is all over the place. Wine ain't even a thing. I know that's right. That's Brown Sugar Babe. Hi, baby. They don't get paid, but Martell might be getting paid as a guest because he's not, as far as I'm concerned, he's not really Sheree's boyfriend. Or maybe he's just trying to, raise his profile a little bit. Who knows at this point? They're being, hush hush. Sheree is still saying that they're not dating. She actually said at BravoCon that she had just come off of a long relationship. I don't know if you call a relationship with a guy who is in prison, like, oh, my heart still might be there. Girl, it's not. What else is going on? Ebony said that Martell was in Kenya's DMs because he got called out. He went and asked Kenya if she wanted to go out, or maybe just trying to see if he could get placed on the show through Kenya. But I think it was Michelle Brown, if I'm not mistaken. She was the one who said that Martell and Sheree had the exact same PR or manager, and that's how those two got together. So interesting. with Tyrone in jail. So Sheree made a comment. She said, I just came out of a long-term relationship, referring to Tyrone. And I was like, but y'all broke up right after he came out of, right after he got out. And when he was in, she said it was an on again, off again relationship. So it wasn't even really a relationship. Her daughter didn't even know who it was. When he was like showed up at the fashion show, her daughter was like, who is that? And then she said, he's short. You remember that? And then remember at the end when he tried to have a sidebar with her, he was like, can I talk to you for a minute? She was like, no, no, And she like shoot him away. And he just walked out the door. Woo, child. Sheree's on top of things, though. Let's see. Martell gives me a slimy slug vibe. That's Miss Lisa. Child, he gives everybody something, something. So what do y'all think about these pictures that Sheree keeps dropping if this isn't supposed to be a serious relationship? Where are these photos coming from? Is it a real relationship or is it a PR relationship? F and F. She said that she was having fun. Let me see. She said that she was having fun, but heavily defended Martell against the cast. Yes. As Kenya said, Sheree's a good pick, but not a good picker, right? Simply Beautiful said, I feel like Carlos is behind the stunt with Sheree and Martell, trying to get a reaction out of Mel by bringing her on Love and Marriage Huntsville and having the cast discuss her. Very possible. Producers do a lot. They're supposed to follow the reality, but they do a lot to bring situations, together so that they can have some sort of entertainment, I guess. Ebony said, Martell was trying to pick the best male. Kenya rejected him, so he moved on to Sheree. So how have you guys been feeling so far about what Martell has been doing with Melody on the show? I mean, we know that clearly it didn't stay that way, but like last episode, he was like, he wants to get the entire group together. And ooh, did you guys notice that Melody was like, I think that if Wanda was out of the picture, like off the show, things would go better between the cast. Do y'all think that that was the first discussion of we're removing Wanda from the show? Let's see. Sheree is only a few years younger than Martell's mother. She looks good though. I am scared of Martell. He is a loose cannon. You have to remove Letitia as well. So, now I saw a debate that Marceau had in the comments with a fan of the show where they were like, Wanda is gone, we're tired of her. And he was like, that's what you think. But I am pretty certain that this conversation about Wanda, like she's been keeping a low profile too. I'm sure that the conversation about Wanda being off the show is starting now on this season. She said, if I had more than 2 brain cells, he'd see the power they hold together. No, because the cast need to go. The whole cast need to go, Yvette? Do you think that there is a way to correct what's going on Love and Marriage Huntsville? I think, let's talk about the ratchet conversation. Like, Carlos was like, he's tired of people calling this show ratchet and that this show is following the same recipe as all the others. Now, I do agree that there has been a lot of things going on, like on Beverly Hills with Garcelle. That was some horrible stuff that went on with her, but no one's calling for, the show to be, canceled or anything. But I think what's different about this show is that there's things that play out in social media, like with what Wanda did, talking about Mel's children, bringing her cousin in, having that conversation about, choppers and all that stuff. That went on for a good while. Like, it felt like months almost before Melody addressed it. And she only addressed it like, she said something during an interview, like, I'm tired of her. I can barely understand her. She's hooked on phonics, something of that extent. And then she made the comment about Tisha's daddy, but never did she really address any of what she was saying on social media until she came on the show. Let's see. Pacino Rules said, the premise of the show is different from the other Housewife franchises. So explain what you mean by the premise of the show is different. Are you saying that it should be more about Black business? Um, let's see. Um, really said, we're talking about OWN, him and his whataboutism. He could have been stopped Wanda, but he likes her ignorance. Are you talking about Carlos or Marceau? Could have stopped. There's a lot of people I feel could have stopped Wanda personally. Um, and there was like Melody had a conversation with an interviewer a couple of months ago where she said that she tries as an executive producer, she tries not to, call Carlos and, pull her weight with certain things. But she said that their things had went out of control and that he called her and said, why didn't you call me and let me know this was going on? And she was like, I didn't know, what I should do. And he was like, never let this go that far. So I don't know if he wasn't aware of it or, I don't get it. Carlos wants Love and Marriage Huntsville to be like Love and Hip Hop. Okay. I still think it's a step above Love and Hip Hop just because, everybody, the people in Love and Marriage Huntsville they got some real money. Some of them do. Betty Williams said, Carlos' focus shouldn't have been about housewife drama, but what's happening with his own show. He could have stopped Wanda before it got to this point. Wanda is the part that brings unwanted negative attention. So do you guys think that if Wanda was removed from the show, that the show would take a different direction or that it would be better? Because even like Kimmy had made conversations like, hey, pretty girl NY, let me see what you had to say, girlfriend. The issue, I just think such an issue is because when my grandmother, classy matriarch, I see Wanda, she's a nightmare. Wanda is a lot. She is a lot to take on, I have to say, but she's not the only one. Like there's people who identify with Wanda. She is out there. I think, I said this in my review on Saturday, I believe, that Wanda took on the angst of Tisha and Kimmy. She said that she used to overhear them talking about her, about Melody, and that she would, she was a part of those conversations. She was listening. She was taking on whatever she thought, her daughter was going through, because there really wasn't any reason for her to have that much anger toward Melody, in my opinion. There wasn't. And then when we found out that Kiki was going to be on the show, and then it turned into something else, like Marceau and Tisha, Wanda, everybody started saying, how dare Melody bring Kiki on the show to bring out whatever these secrets are. So when people say that there's a secret on the show, is the secrets with the Scotts? Like, what are they trying to protect at this point? Carlos see what Melody could be, so he low-key keep the drama going towards her. He's on the side of Martell and the Scotts. I hope Mel is watching everyone. So I personally think that Mel is a smart cookie. Like, I think that she has handled herself better than veterans that we've seen, like a Portia Williams or a Nene Leakes. Remember, Nene Leakes got so pissed off she had slammed her computer and left the reunion altogether because they were bringing someone on that she didn't want to be there. I personally think that Mel is aware of the okie doke in ways that others aren't. And I also think that, the fans keep her aware of things. So we're paying attention to things. But I think that she has handled herself better than anybody, especially as a first timer in reality TV. She's handled herself the way veterans have handled themselves, in my opinion. Sandy says, unless Carlos removes Wanda publicly, the negative comments will continue to come his way. Cut the cord, Carlos. She would be a perfect fit for Jerry Springer. You're right about that. S. McNeil said, Melody is a businesswoman who knows vipers, snakes, etc. You don't become a millionaire without having wisdom. I personally think the same thing. I think that Melody is very sharp. and she does not go, I haven't seen her go into a room and not shut it down completely and not lose her train of thought. Like she's not overwhelmed by emotion. Like even what happened last season or on the third season reunion when Carlos made that really uncouth comment to her, well, how do you not remember, blah blah blah. She handled herself perfect. Like she didn't allow him to rattle her. And I think people always try, they just can't. Not that she can't be rattled. We're all human, but Melody handles herself better than everybody on the show. Everybody. We see Destiny. Destiny shuts down in a heartbeat. Same with Tisha, shut down in a heartbeat. We're already talking about Wanda. Wanda's full of emotion. Melody, even though she has emotional moments, she can see through certain things and still come at you and let you know where you stand. She doesn't let people talk any type of, negativity or anything over her. And that's what I appreciate most. Yes, you guys hit the like button. We have 265 in here, 148 likes. Please hit the like button. Let's see. I think Mel should do what Candy does and go around Carlos and create her own relationships with own executives. Melody has relationships with, as far as I understand it, I mean, OWN had put her on other shows when she was doing that Behind Every Man. She was already doing other things with OWN, so I think she does have other relationships. I also think that, like I said, when she started the show, everybody was drawn to her, everybody. So she ended up getting all of these people who was helping her, mentoring her, talking to her about, everything, just letting her know what's going on behind the scenes, what to expect from producers. Remember when Melody was on, I think it was the episode before. So if this was episode 6, it would have been episode 5, I believe, when the producer was asking her to talk about the other brother. And she said, no, next question. Like, you have to know when to shut things down. And she clearly does. And I like that. I like that they're showing that side too. What do you guys have to say? Pretty girl, Carlos has to understand that we like drama, but we want to see Black excellence. It shouldn't be overshadowed by ignorance. Okay, so give me an example of what you would like to see as Black excellence. Like we saw the comeback group, but that was never really a formed business, right? Like I think the first episode, Melody was saying you might have you four and then me as a separate person and Martell as a separate person because he and I won't be together. So we already knew that the comeback group was going to be like questionable, right? So what other business did you guys want to see them do? Because we get to see them in the businesses. Like, did you like seeing Stormy at her warehouse on Saturday? Showcase Stormy's business, Humble Beginnings. Stormy has an amazing story. She has an amazing story. I'd love to hear that story. When you see Humble, like you said, Humble Beginnings, and then, God knows how many acres of land with horses and all that good stuff, and Bam coming out the woods and running through the house with the rest of the animals. I'd love to see that story. I'd love to hear more from her. I'd like to see her husband and her interact more on the show, not because I want drama with the other cast members. I just want to see, I want to see what first generation wealth looks like at that level. Like to come from, oh, I was a hairdresser to now I'm worth $40 million. You know what I'm saying? That's a big deal. Let's see. Can you guys still see me or am I messing up? We see you. Okay, making sure because I'm looking at my computer and my computer is frozen. Okay, let's see what else you got to say. I would like to hear more from Stormy. She has a good and flourishing business and family. She has an amazing business. And now she's putting out a perfume. And I think she said she has something else that she had, that she was going to do. So she's an amazing business. All of them have like really positive, amazing business stories. Kimmy, who has started her, retail, or not retail, real estate thing, and she was on the Home and Garden channel. Show more of Melody and Stormy, humble beginnings, working from outside the family. So Melody and Martell both had an amazing story. I agree. And again, we love to see where they are now. I would love to see Melody. I don't know where I read this. It might have been on my comments, but someone was saying, I'd love to see Melody at home, doing the single parent thing, and showing what life is like. We get to see her on her live doing, packaging things up with the kids. We'd like to see her do that on the show too. What did you say? Remove who? Let's see how Kiki will merge her teaching the university business. So is Kiki coming back? Because I'm going to tell you, for all the craziness that we saw with Kiki, it is crazy that they didn't release whatever the secret was yet. Let's see how Kiki will merge teaching, university, and business. I don't know what's wrong with my chat. Hold on one second, guys. Let me see. Okay, sorry about that. My computer is not doing what it's supposed to do. Okay. I'm over the Scots. Bring the Fletchers in to replace them. Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Carlos has promised that those secrets will not be revealed. He's promised that what secrets? The Scott secrets? I believe Carlos removed Kiki to protect Tisha Marceau's secret. She claimed, I thought she said she was coming back this season. We haven't seen anything about it. Scott's secret, because of that deal Carlos made with Marceau, Tiffany and Big Lou, the Dizzy Destiny, I know, Shirley. So let's talk about Destiny for a second. With this comment that she made about Melody's mom, the comment that she made to Melody's mom. Someone actually asked me a question about Destiny. They said that what was Destiny talking about when she called Melody's mom a liar. She said that she lied about her. So if you guys remember, on the Ooh Ladies First panel, Destiny shared a story about something happening to her son. And she said that she had called Melody. Melody came over with her mother, and that she said Mel and her mother came onto my porch and they prayed for me. And Melody's mom went on an interview and she said, it wasn't me. I was in the car. I didn't get out. That was just Mel who did that. Well, that's what Destiny's talking about. And I'm going to be honest. I know when you're in an emotional state, sometimes you can see things or you think things happen and it didn't really happen that way. Destiny could have thought that it was both of them, but it didn't happen that way if she was in that, big of an emotional state. And it's unfortunate, just like she said, Mel didn't speak to her. When she did, she shuts down emotionally when, she doesn't want to deal with stuff. A lot of people do it. She's not the only one. But it really could have happened the way Miss Van said. So it doesn't make sense for her to lie about it. Why would she say I didn't do it? It actually makes her look better to say that she did it. So it's just weird. What else is happening? I think Melody gave her what? Money. You think Melody gave her money? I'm so sorry, y'all. Wait just a moment, because I was reading the comments from my computer, and for whatever reason, my computer isn't working. Let's talk about what other questions do y'all have? I'm sorry. I might have to get off of my computer. I'm so sorry. I'm going to try to do lives Carlos wants to, this is from Renetta. Carlos wants to throw the race card instead of taking accountability. S. McNeil said, is Melody still going to interview bloggers? I don't know. That's a good question. I think that she put it on hold because of everything that she had going on with Martell. But it still could happen. Was Destiny's father? No, Destiny's father lives with her. If you guys haven't seen him, he was actually on the show a couple of times. He was on the show when they had the when she had the relaunch. He was real quiet, but he had went into a room with her to tell her not to kick Melody out. But I know that she said he was sick right now. I believe that he has cancer. I think Melody's or Destiny's brother was exactly. This is S. McNeil. Destiny's brother was unalived, and I'm not sure that Destiny's mom is still here. I think that both her brother and her mom are no longer with us. Let's see. What else do you guys have? I think I'm gonna have to cut my live short. I'm so sad. Melody mentioned that she was going to have the blogger event around the holidays and we'll open it up for, okay. Well, please touch more on demanding Carlos include the Scott's dirt. I think Carlos is definitely paying attention to all of the voices that have been coming out regarding, you know, the show. He has tried to play it cool at first, and now I don't want people saying that this show is ratchet. There are other ratchet shows. He's 100% right about that. She says she's going to let the fans do an event. There are other ratchet shows. We just have to figure it out. Y'all, do I agree with, I'm so sorry. I am not seeing your comments right now because my my internet on my computer is not working and I don't know how to fix it. So I'm reading it from my phone, but it is going up so fast I can barely see it. So yes, it's me said, without Melody, all of these people have no storyline. You're right. Miss Brenda, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I really love what the bloggers are doing by following the facts, allegations around the Scotts and Destiny. Keep up the great work. That is Social Butterfly. Betty Boop said the show has become ratchet. You think the show has become ratchet? You're doing great. Okay, I'm just going to trust y'all and read off the screen for as long as I can. It's just easier because the computer has the words bigger. The reunion filming should be happening soon. Yes, I heard that it was actually going to happen next month, if I'm not mistaken. Put your finger on the chat to stop it. Mel, like you, she said in her live. Yes, that was a shock to me that Miss Mel shouted me out. I was not expecting that at all. Honestly, I was in the kitchen cooking and I had turned on my live and I was going to video it because I put it on my channel. And then I heard her say, oh, DyanaRozay is here. And I was like, what? It's me. So I was excited about that. I'm happy that I was kind of nervous when she said she watched my videos because I was like, well, damn, I hope you didn't see anything you didn't like. Let's see. Marie said, yes, the show should be Black business about Mel. The show has taken a dark turn thanks to Wanda. I personally think that if we remove Wanda, because Wanda takes things so personally with Tisha, like she's Tisha's hitter. That's just who she is. So it doesn't matter. She's going to come at people wrong. And she does not know how to pull back. Like after everything that went down, her coming out of that shop and racing around to hit Mel was ignorant. There was no other way to put it. Mel said on episode 4 that Martell was talking her backyard. Okay, I couldn't see that one either. I'm so sorry. Mel shouted you out all the time. She loves the videos. Yeah, I heard her say that she enjoys the video, so I'm happy about that. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, you guys, I'm hoping that I will be able to see you guys like as a part of that blogger event. Um, as long as Carlos allowed the Scotts to go unchecked for their fake storyline, I'm interested in seeing what he does with this reunion because that's going to tell everything. I think Destiny's other comments toward Van, Bravo would have fired who? I'm sorry, write that up again. Bravo would have fired Carlos or Wanda. The Scotts will appear late as usual. Wanda Destiny, I don't remember what that was. Okay, I agree with that. Take Wanda. I think Wanda needs to go. She needs a break. She needs a break away from everything. She's been quiet, which is good. Who do you think should host the reunion? This is from All About Jazzy. I actually didn't mind Carlos doing the reunion because I thought that, thank you so much. I thought that he did know where the bodies were buried, so he could have better conversations than we had with Egypt. So I did like that. I just want it to be a fair, you know, he needs to be, ask questions of everybody. It was mainly focused on Martell and Melody. And I'd like to see him go back to season 3, if possible, and go on ahead and start asking questions about Marceau lying, saying that he was depressed and all that type of stuff. And then coming back on season 4, acting like everything was all good. That made absolutely no sense. None at all. Also, we know that Marceau is a loose cannon. Even his brother actually said that last episode. Remember when he was like, what did he say? Tisha, if Tisha wants us to talk to Marceau because her feelings are hurt, then that's fine. Otherwise, it's going to be more of the same. So she's been in this for 16 years, and then we keep getting these flippity flop stories. First, it's this is the man God brought for me. I'm happy to have him. When God tells me, then I'll do something different. And she goes from that to, I can't take it anymore. I'm fed up. Talk to your brother about the way he talks to me. Or, she's making it seem like she can't stay in the relationship. So, and this is all within 5 episodes. She has changed her entire tune. So that's how you know when people are lying, because when you are in an emotional state, you're going to say what's on your heart. But when you're lying and trying to, pretend like I brought the group to here and I'm a great leader and I took us from out of the, get out of here. Nobody believes that story. Ariane was on Wanda's Live. When was Ariane on Wanda's Live? Was this recent? I want to see Dr. Heavenly or Funky Dineva. Ooh, I would love to see Dr. Heavenly. Let's see. I'm also curious about why Kimmy said she wouldn't be Tisha's friend. Facts. The fact that Kimmy said I wouldn't be Tisha's friend, we wouldn't be friends. We could just be family because she's too much. Even that, when someone says that and that's coming from the heart, for them to have flipped the script and just be like, oh, Tisha, I love you. I'm really sorry I made that comment. Girl, no, you're not. You meant exactly what you said. Follow that reality. That was real life. Funky Dineva would be better than Heavenly. That fake laugh gets on my nerves. Woo. Okay. I can answer that. Tisha is draining. Tisha is draining. Smart Cookie said the mention of bringing the peasant on the show was low class to me. When did they say they were bringing her on? Are you talking about the phone call in season 3? I think Kimmy was made to pick a side. Well, even if she was made to pick a side, she still is the liaison between Melody and the rest of the group. So Melody is not filming with certain people. That's clear. So when Kimmy is around and she's talking to Mel, she's still taking those stories back to whomever. And I would think, just my opinion, Dr. Francis should host the reunion. That is from Stacy. I would think that it would have been easier to make Kimmy more of a friend to Melody. Just have more of an alliance with her. I honestly think that if we're being honest, Martel's side chick should not be on the show, not any way, anyhow. She shouldn't make any call-ins. She shouldn't do any of that. Um, Maurice keeps saying that he doesn't recognize Marceau. What do you mean? I think Funky Dineva would be biased. He seems to be Team Scott. He definitely likes the Scots. He's already said that he doesn't like Martel, so I think it'll be horrible for Martel. Um, love your cheekbones. Okay, thank you. These are from my mama. Um, I think Andy Cohen. Ooh, can I roll this back? I think Andy Cohen should host the reunion. You do? Andy just started getting right too, because remember, especially with the Potomac girls, he would always ask. He just handled himself wrong, in my opinion. But I'm hoping he does better. I didn't like the way he handled Monique and what's her name? I forgot her name, but Monique and the girl who got into that argument. Um, Wanda had an interview on Scotty's channel, giving you the real tea. Okay. It would be great to have Dr. Francis host a reunion. However, I don't want it to turn into a therapy session. I agree. I think that Dr. Francis doesn't know enough about the backstory for the group, and that would make it a little hard for us to get more honest answers. Um, who don't like Martel? Everyone on the show said Martel was Carlos's favorite. Hi, Deborah Turner. Carlos said that Martel was one of his favorites. He said he loves him to pieces. He also said that Martel is a scammer. Says he scammed women out of panties and pocketbooks. That was something he said on his show, and I never heard Martel say anything, like, how dare you say that about me? So it's interesting that when everybody else says that about him, he wants to jump bad. But when Carlos King said it, because Martel says, according to Carlos King, he confides in him about a lot of stuff that he does. When he said that, Martel never said anything about it, ever. Let's see what else. Carlos likes him because he's the villain, good for TV. He is that, and he doesn't, control himself. DyanaRozay should host a show. I would do a great job. I would love to host a show. I definitely would. Oh my God, if they could just open it up to the bloggers for maybe 10 minutes and let us ask some questions, I'd love to. Okay, McNeil, I'm not going to read that one, S. McNeil. What else you guys got? Okay, I think your name is LaShawn Taylor. She said that I think Carlos was fair. He just speaks the truth. No one likes to see him coming. Well, they were all scared when they realized that he was the one hosting. I agree with you there. But I think that his opinion about Martel and the mistress, I think that he wasn't fully tapped in, and he said some things that was a little disrespectful. And I wish that, he can't change it. I think Melody said in her last live, she said that the millimeters had went after him. She was like, he said that they were worse than the beehive or something like that. So he's aware of it. He better keep himself together this time. The fans on Mel's live ask good questions. I agree. Let's see. Being nosy, but do you think the custody battle is over? I don't know, Miss Jazzy, but I do know this. The last time Mel had the kids and they left and her brother and his husband were there, I was like, well, that's just a little, to Martel, since he was making all those comments about the babysitters. Now, Melody's a smart cookie, like I said. When she was in that elevator and she let you see, we all could see that those kids had their luggage, and we also saw that her brother and his husband was there. So She does what she needs to do. Ooh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm putting my finger on top of the my camera. Um, but I don't know if it's over yet. I can say that she previously said that it was going to take a long time. So maybe not. Let's see. Ms. Sheree said, think about this. Narcissist needs to be fueled. They don't care about the male, female, and Carlos gives Martel favor. A lot of people give Martel favor. I will agree. Martel's entire family gives him favor. And Martel, up until the episode where he got into it with his uncle, we saw him go back and forth with Melody, and it was ugly. And I think people would just give him a pass, like, oh, well, he was married to, males, so that's just them fighting. But when we saw him jump in his uncle's face and he was, being completely over the top, I think that was an opportunity to see that he has a lot of favor in his life. Like, by that, I mean, no one tells him when he's doing wrong. We know that to be true with his mom, and it looks like pretty much everybody does the same exact thing. Let Wendy Williams host the event. Child, can she do that? He's dangerous. I want Carlos to address why Maurice got, amen, Miss Edith. Why did you? Okay, why was this a brother trip? And he knows that Kimmy is premenopausal to be. He alarmed the RHOA producers with his temper toward the ladies. He did. So that's a good question. And it's a good question to ask Kimmy even. Like, why were you, what was this? Some sort of pact between the brothers to do this? Because there was no reason for him to do it. Just curious. Yes, Marceau and Maurice got on the same time. They didn't want to end up like Martel. That seems to be the case. And, Marceau seemed really hurt in the last episode that this fight broke up him and Martel going back together or being friends again or whatever, because those three seem to have a really interesting friendship. I'm sorry. There's too much that's happened between their families for them to be all pro Martel, even though Martel has said just as much damaging stuff as they accuse Melody of. So we would like to know why that is. Why does he get a pass? What happened to Behind Every Man? Was it Martel's actions or low ratings? Good question. I think it was just, I don't think it was meant to be a series. I think it was just that one, time. But Martel still went there and showed out, and someone, again, gave him favor. They let him walk out of there with no problems. I wonder why Martel and Mel are afraid to tell their secrets like they tell theirs. I wonder why Martel and Mel are afraid to tell their secrets like they tell, I'm assuming you're meaning like they tell others, Candy. What other secrets do you think they have? Anytime anyone speaks of Melody and Martel, it's always, I've never seen Melody or Martel like lose their mind at the idea that someone was going to say something about them. Whereas the Scotts, again, when they thought Kiki was coming on, they lost their shit. Like they were on every interview. How dare Kiki talk against us? Like, and they didn't even know what she said yet. Like they had no clue. And then the scene where at Mel's pajama party where everyone was like, if Kiki was talking about my cousin the way she talked about Tisha, that didn't show for the viewing audience. We didn't see any of that. So we saw her basically co-sign that those rumors existed long before the show. That's all she ever said. So it just kind of got ugly. But the Scotts, to me, appear to be the ones that are trying to prevent an additional story from coming out. Even with the fight between Marceau and Martel, when Martel turned around, Martel said something that popped off. That's how both Maurice and Marceau and Tisha, because Tisha goes, whoa, Martel, Like she's trying to stop him from saying something. And I'm kind of curious if a name was mentioned. Y'all know which name I'm talking about. The one that was supposedly offered 10,000. That seems like a bigger story. Kathy Colbert says, we know Mel. I would love to have Kiki on the show. The hairdresser. Yes, ma'am. That's the one. Now, he said something to Marceau that made him jump. But Maurice and Letitia all turned around like, whoa, Martell, like, don't say that. And that's when they started fighting. Allegedly, Mel's ex-hairstylist is a cousin and she's Marceau's mistress. That's the rumor. And I know that this woman does not want to be talked about. Hi, Courtney. I know that this woman does not want to be talked about, but her name is more over the blogs than ever, okay? Especially since Tisha put out that little, she was offered money. Like, she didn't say her name. She just said the show offered this person money. And now they're saying that the show offered money and that Melody offered money. And I hope that they address that on the reunion. I want Carlos to say that because he didn't give anybody else a whole lot of anything, right? She sent a cease and desist, and that's what Melody said. She said that she had given the name at the Galentine's event because Tisha was like, show your proof. She said that she looked it up, she showed it. They cut it out, and she said that she believes it's because something was sent to the show saying that she didn't want her name on there. But everybody says her name anyway. I think there's something going on, but why would you have Tisha do an interview with her? I wouldn't have Tisha do an interview with her. Oh, you're referring to when they all jumped on to say that it wasn't true. Well, here's the thing. Tisha could be aware of it. And because she wants her family, or she still had young kids in the house, maybe she and Marceau hashed it out, and that was something they chose to do so that their kids could have a different, they wouldn't be wise about it, which I wouldn't do a YouTube video on it, but that's what they chose to do. But people lie about stuff like that all the time. And we all know something's going on with Tisha. Tisha cries at the drop of a hat. The problem with what's happening now is that we saw Tisha start crying at that bar in Houston when she saw Marceau interact with that woman. All of those things never got talked about. We went from that to, these fake scenes in season 4. And I think that they robbed the audience. They robbed the fans of the story. Jay said, I think that the fight was a cover so that Marceau could act upset. And spend some time with the lady in the green outfit. So someone sent me some receipts of that lady. She was actually at Martell's book signing event. If you guys go back and watch that episode, I forgot what it's called. You reap what you sow or something like that. I can't remember, but that woman was in the audience and her children were in the audience. And that would have been a few short weeks after Martell had, cooked dinner at her home. And now she is also talking about it. So she's been on a few interviews saying that she's been on the show for, I think, 3 times. And she'll be on for the 4th time at Martell's wine event. Someone said that I think Marceau and the hairdresser have okay. Maybe they were talking about the kids. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I think it's Watina Temple. That would be a reason, right? I agree with you, sis. That sounds to me to be right. Hey, Gail. They keep cutting off people's mics. We want exactly. I agree. Well, they cut that mic off. If that woman's name isn't supposed to be said because there is a cease and desist, then we know why. Hey, Dee Dee. Martell's book signing. Anne Black. Yep, so she's been on the show 3 times, I believe. Martell's book signing. She was at Black. She was at Destiny's thing. She was at Martell's wine event. So yeah. You guys be sure to hit the like button, please. 516 in here, 294 on the likes. Hook a sister up. Let's see what else we got. So someone asked me to start a membership for YouTube, and I think I'm going to start one, and I'm going to go live every week, definitely every week, probably more, because doing the videos are becoming a little tedious for me, and it's much easier for me to just jump on live and talk to you guys as it's happening. And I'm hoping that we don't lose anything. Pretty brown eyes, prosperity, okay. Seems like Mar doesn't mind his kids around. Oop, someone retracted that message. Belinda was also at Martell's ATL event. Oh, was she really? I wonder if they filmed in her house. I wonder if that mansion was her house that they filmed in for the wine event, the first one. So, yes, Miss Betty, I am going to do membership lives, and I think I'm going to start it as soon as Friday so that we can do these quick videos and talk, and then because I like talking to you guys a lot. I love it. I like talking. But yeah, is it getting late? It's 9 o'clock. Okay. I wonder what's in it for Mel to stay on the show. Seems like Martell doesn't mind bringing his kids around any. Ain't that the truth? Belinda was one